Hello fellow academics and welcome to something brand new. We're playing Foundation. I've played this game before it exited like early access, so it's been a while. But since it's been out, I've been wanting to play it like I mentioned in my past videos, and I thought we're gonna give it a try. We are playing the city or the realm of Lectoria. And because it's been a while, I'm playing with the tutorial on. We're also playing on standard difficulty, as the menu says, as the game is intended to be played, with no specific goal in mind. So let's see where the journey takes us. I've randomized the map a couple of times, trying to see what comes out of this. And with that, let's dig in. Alright, a new beginning. After a long journey throughout the realm, your people finally reach new lands. Your lands. Territories you can settle for reasons of your own. Exactly what we're gonna do. They wait for our command, but are eager to give me advice, so give me advice. Alright, quest module, the stuff down here, great. Let's move up, down, left, right. So all of that is completed. Go on. Camera zoom, in, out. Probably rotating the next. Yep, rotating up, down, left, right. Love how this game looks. And now it's time for us to buy our first territories. This is how this game works. You look on the map, and initially you start out with a smaller selection of territories that you can pick. And like bit by bit, basically you're just increasing your realm as long as you can afford it. Let's put it like that. Alright, so everything in these like light white borders, that's potential starting locations. They should have some food, yep, and some stones in there, which are very essential to start your village or your realm. Oh, you can actually pick that one. That's actually quite big. Interesting. The solid white line, that's the edge of the map, unfortunately. I wish they would just open it up, because, yeah, but I guess it's harder to generate a random map like this. Alright, I think I like this spot here for our potential castle later on, so I like the idea of being close by. Now, if we were to settle here, we do have a decent amount of food down there, and we have some stones up here, in addition to the beautiful flowers down there. Now, let me actually quickly go into settings. So you see this, video settings. It's a generic monitor, great, but everything should be quality preset medium. Oh, hell no. Let's go to ultra. All right, here we go. Everything is set to ultra. And look how beautiful this game is though. Like, how gorgeous, right? You see like the grass, the bigger one, all the trees are in there. There's a bit of blurriness going on, which I think doesn't bother me, so I'm gonna leave it like that. I like how there are like tree trunks in the water. Very cool. I wonder if there are fish down here. Oh, we could also pick this one. I don't think so. So fishing, I think, used to be a thing, but I don't know if we need like a fishing resource somewhere. We're close to water, so I would assume that somewhere there are going to be fish. Anyways, let's focus more on the bigger part. So I think we're going to buy this because it brings us much closer to where I want to build our fort, our castle up here. So let's just select this, and now we've bought our territory. All right, action module. Most actions, like placing new buildings, can be performed by the action module at the bottom center. You don't say. Okay, so let's go into build, and we need to place a village center. Now I want our village center to actually become our village center. And that means this should also be kind of the marketplace that we're gonna be building around. So for now, I think we're gonna just place it pretty much in the middle of this meadow, which I think will be ultimately quite nice. Cannot be destroyed. Small resource depot, build, interacting with the world. A villager wants to speak with you. Click on the bubble to start the interaction. First of all, look how cute they are, right? I mean, they all look the same. Well, not quite the same, but very similar. But aren't they cute? Anyways, alright, somebody wants to speak to us, so we're clicking on the bubble. Advice, organizing work. The second piece of advice comes from a young, enterprising villager. Rather than letting everyone fend for themselves, she suggests that you organize laborers into appropriate workplaces. Makes sense. Builders into workshops, woodcutters into lumber camps, berry gatherers into their huts, and so on. Cool. Build a workshop. Oh, we're gonna leave it on pause for now. So, we need a builder's workshop. And I think because we're ultimately planning to expand over here, I'm gonna put our builder's workshop in the corner right there. So let me actually try to rotate this. How do you rotate a building? With R? Nope. R is the camera. Nope. That is right click. What if I... Ah, I see. If I click, I can then actually select to rotate it. And then I can move it back. And we're just gonna back this one into the wall. I think that would make sense. Alright, so we're gonna build this. Pause. And now we need to assign villagers. Assign workers, click the plus button. Assuming they mean this one. I need to click this away. Assign the nearest villager to the workplace. Okay. 1, 2. For now, we're just gonna... No, we're not gonna fill it up. 2 builders. I think that makes sense. Alright. Now I'm going to stop the pause. So next thing we need to build, or we're supposed to build, is a lumber camp. Which we're going to place in this corner right here. Trying to move it actually a little bit further back, although there's actually a ton of berries back there. I think that'll be fine. So, build that. And maybe we should have built a woodcutter first. Wait. Cuts trees and produces wood. Oh, assign a new woodcutter. I was like, isn't that exactly what I just built? Logistics, a builder's workshop, resource, lumber camp, or all of them. Okay, got it. So what happens, and this is kind of the nice thing about this game, as they walk, they will actually create streets. And in addition, when you place houses, you're not placing houses, you're placing areas where they're allowed to build. So, and the way you do this, kind of perfect transition, you're painting stuff in there. So painting and woodcutting. What resources require you to paint an area that's fit for woodcutting? So you got these paint things over here, and later on there will be one for like villages. Good. If you press Control and the mouse wheel, I still remembered this correctly, it will actually expand the area where they will cut down the trees. I'm also going to select this part over here, as it will free up a little bit of space for our people to keep working on. So the next thing, forester camp, plants trees. I think we're gonna reduce berries first. And they do like the berry bushes. Kind of makes sense, right? So we're gonna place them immediately next to one. I think over here will be great. So select this to build, and we probably... maybe it needs to be built first before we can actually... because you need to select which area they're allowed to get berries from. We do have 2 woodcutters now, 2 builders. And you're kind of seeing sort of the streets forming, which at the moment makes this... Did you see him like stretching? Very cool. Which makes this kind of a nice game, right? You're like the streets form on their own, and yeah, you kind of just plan around it if you want, or yeah, only if you want to. All right, what else do we have? Forester camp, builder's hut, lumber camp. So forester camp we probably need as well. Well, I don't think this will be our long-term place for wood cutting. Maybe we're actually not gonna build it. I would like to buy the next territory before this happens. Oh, interesting. Okay, sorry. Gonna assign 2 berry gatherers. They're going in, and they're immediately starting to gather. Ah, I thought we had to paint it in. Guess we don't. Anyways, very nice. Edit building. Oh. Oh, I see. Okay. Oop. Quest in the middle. More advice. Needs and happiness. Now that you have organized your laborers, you can tend to their needs and happiness. Make sure they have access to fresh water and housing. As for food, you will first need people to store and distribute the berries they collected. From here, your village will have everything needed to welcome its first wave of immigrants. Alright. Painting and housing. Houses are built automatically. Within residential areas, you have painted beforehand. To mark a residential area, click the paintbrush. It's basically the same as before. So we're gonna make this a little bit smaller. And the first place we're actually going to fill up is just in this triangle that our settlers have created so far. I remember essential, satisfy essential and additional needs. Villagers fulfill their needs by consuming resources, just as, look at him, such as berry for their rustic food needs or visiting buildings, such as churches for service needs. Check the details by hovering over each need in the villager window. Okay, so I can select a villager and then kind of take it from there. For now, I want to paint in this triangle a little bit better. Alright, so let's click on, or technically it says build a well, so we're gonna do that immediately. But it also gives us the option for a stone cutter. And I'm pretty sure for a well we actually need a stone. We need stone. So we're gonna place that one right next to our stone deposit. So let's build that. And then we're also going to say build a well. I want to say right in this corner here of our city center. We can rotate this around, but I think if we keep it like this, that will be fine. I don't know what happened. Right, let's remove this, try this again, put it here, select build, and things will move forward. So the next thing we're going to do is to actually select a villager, and here we see the needs. They need water, rustic food, which is berries, housing, which they got over here, and then refined foods, meat, bread, cheese, and services. No compatible resources yet. Must visit a church from time to time. A lot of the buildings in this game are actually growables, which is kind of cool. So you can manually decide what they're ultimately gonna look like. For now, I'm going to assign one more villager. And I just noticed this actually went down. Yep, villagers unemployed. We still have 3 people that have nothing to do. But this will disappear very quickly as we are adding more and more service buildings. I'm gonna add 2 people in the stonecutter hut so they can get that going as well. All right, here we go. The first house is in. It looks so cool. Okay, this seems to be enough space for 2 houses, which means I don't think it's gonna be enough. Let's see. Yeah, don't know yet. We'll see. Maybe we'll actually put one more villager into the builders. We can always remove them later, but at least for now, they will be doing something. Now, they're always coming back to the city center to as like a storage area. and just hang out when they take breaks, because they do take breaks. They don't continuously work. See, this one just walked back. I was gathering more berries, and I'm gonna store them in the gathering hut. Later on, we do need to make sure that we have like granaries and other warehouses and all of that for our villagers' needs. Alright, let's have a quick look at the woodcutting. We are quickly chopping down our forest over here. Basically just opening up the space. So I want to very quickly like expand over this direction to make this part our actual woodcutter area. Alright, multi-part building. Some buildings such as markets have multiple parts and can be customized that way. That's the thing, the growables that I was talking about. Each part has a cost and can have a specific effect. Check for details on the part description. Okay, so now they're like, build a village market, assign a new market tender, assign berries to the market stall. Okay, I'm gonna slow this down. I'm gonna close out of this. We're going to immediately place that marketplace food stall or rustic market tent. I guess a food stall is exactly what we're looking for. Let's see, in which direction? I would guess it needs, the wares kind of need to face outward. So we could place it here. Or we actually use this street that they've built over here to turn this into a little bit of a market street. And I kind of like this idea. Alright, here we go. So let's build this rustic market. What does it actually do? A welcome protection from your precious merchandise and those who sell it. Okay. Resources needed. So we could actually place this on top. Kind of looks nice. Anyways, for now, we don't. You can always add this stuff later, I think. Yeah. See, we can always go back in. Maybe we can't. Can we not? Oh, that would be a shame. Edit building. Here we go. Yep, we can always put it back up. Alright, they are building this. And look how cool this game looks. I love it. The well is in. Infinite water source. Very nice. Just hammering it. Let's speed this up a little bit. Houses have come in. 2 of them only, but that is good enough for now. Maybe we'll leave this area empty for the church and put more houses on this side. I don't know if they need more houses, but let's for now assume that they do. Let me pause this. I don't want them to immediately spawn this in. We're kind of first creating a boundary over here and then starting to fill this in. Alright, I think this will be good. We have a little bit of space to the market. I'm actually going a little bit closer. How do I remove? Oh, right click removes it. Very nice. Very intuitive. Just going to straighten this out a little bit. And here we go. And already the next house came in. How many houses do we actually need? Happiness is only 33%. There's still more need for houses. I guess they're building it now, so that is nice. Why haven't they built this yet? Because the builder was taking a break. But hopefully this will come in any second now. Maybe not. Was it because I clicked on edit building? Oh, no. He is building it. Good, finally. Alright. One less builder now. You get sacked. You will be added here. And then we're going to assign berries, which hopefully should do the trick. Alright, edit buildings. You can edit any constructed buildings by pressing the edit button. Okay, we figured that out. You can move and rotate any building parts. Some building parts can be scaled up and down. So that's kind of cool. Okay. Anyways, multi-part buildings can be improved further with new parts. Monuments can be improved with additional parts and sub-buildings. Double-click a building part will let you select all connected parts simultaneously. Alright, I will try to remember that. Are you? Yep, this is our salesperson. Has put out the berries in like big buckets, well, big baskets more like, which is awesome. Water, rustic food will be satisfied, and housing will come next. Alright, raise happiness of your village to 75. So let's have a look. Rustic food is missing, housing is missing, and refined food is missing. We don't need the refined food in order to make them happy enough. What we need, I think, is just more housing space. So we're going to extend this all the way over here and actually just remove the wood cutting area and this corner right there. Wow, that is a big house. Alright, we also probably need just a little bit more housing area down there maybe. Let's paint it in like that, so one additional house could potentially spawn there. I hope that is enough space for a house to spawn. There we go. And I'm hoping this will give us enough of a city center here, especially if we put the church in this corner. So hopefully that'll work. We're already at 68%, a little bit more housing needs need to be fulfilled. But I guess this house is being built. So for now, let me actually remove this again. Because once this is done, it might actually be enough to make everyone happy at 75%. Progression. Prosperity level 2. Population 2. Okay. And Lectoria is now a village. New ruler title unlocked. Lord and Lady. Excellent. We're not at 75% yet. So I don't quite know what that means. Does that mean, though, that we have now enough occupants everywhere? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everyone has 2 people in there, so everyone should actually have a house. Ah, so who's unhappy? This forager is unhappy. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Why are you unhappy? You don't have housing. I think he just needs to go home. Not as in like, you know, he's fired, but he just needs to spend some time at home, which I think is over there. Alright, cool. And as you can see, like I mentioned before, the roads are coming in very nicely. This is such a cozy city builder. I love it. I love the graphics too. They're not like the most beautiful ones, but overall it looks great. Alright, we got new advice. Profiting from trade. A business-minded villager proposes creating a trade route with your closest neighbor. I absolutely agree. Northbury, to sell resources and profit and obtain items that cannot be produced locally. Northbury needs planks, so you should start with those. So here's the thing, and this is, I think, the challenging part of this game. You need to make sure that you have, one, enough coins, and at the same time enough tools. These are the two really important materials from what I remember as I was playing sort of the early access version. Once you run out of either one of them, your game might actually be completely unrecoverable. You need the coins as well to promote villagers or like raise their levels a little bit. And some jobs need higher class villagers. So if you can't do that, you might not be able to create the resources that you need, and then you might ultimately, again, just like spiral into death. Right. So this is from what I remember from way back when I was playing this. So for now, let's go and try to do some trade stuff. Some buildings are not available at the start of the game, you don't say. You will need to unlock them from progression screen, wherever that is. Unlocking them requires you to reach their tier. So this is the progression screen, okay. Which might require a certain number of prosperity and a state splendor. Once there, you must pay a certain amount of coins or influence to unlock them for your village. Okay, got it. New building available. What building is available? This one, it's a sawmill. So, I'm gonna quickly pause. You see that like red area? This is undesirable location for your citizens to live in. So that is just something very important to keep in mind. For now, we're gonna place our sawmill in sort of that area, that undesirable area over here right away. Actually, we're gonna place it very close to the stone cutter so that the lumber mill doesn't actually spread any further than this, like the negative effects of the lumber mill. Just gonna rotate it around so it faces this way because I think that looks nice. And then we're gonna say build it. All right, what are you complaining? Storage is full. Okay, that makes sense. As we are building this, we have more people that we need to do work. And there should be some immigrants coming sometime soon. But for now, we're supposed to acquire the storage in the progression menu. So let's go into progression, storage, fishing, wooden bridges, very nice, village fences. Okay, we've focused now on storage. So now I have unlocked this. I go out of here. And now we have new buildings available. One is a granary, which will be very important for us. Outside of territory, yeah, it's a bit unfortunate. As we are aiming to expand in this direction overall. But we might just temporarily place it. I guess we don't need to place the granary right now. What they want us to do is build the warehouse. So let's do this. Let's put down a warehouse, and for now, we're placing it maybe even just off now. Off here seems to make the most sense. Rotating it around to face the road. Now this one entrance is blocked if I put it like that, but here all the entrances are not red, so that should work. So we're going to build that warehouse. The warehouse is also close to both our woodcutter, sawmill, and stone cutter. So we should be able to store a decent amount of things. And all right, speeding this up again. Overall, I think that we're doing okay. Village map. Oh, look at that. So these symbols, those are actually immigrants that are trying to join our village. So they walk through the entire map to basically get to our place. Let's see if we can't see them. There. And they will also kind of create these paths. So at the moment there are none, but the more villagers, immigrants are coming. Oh, look at that, that's fish. Need to be less distracted. The more villagers to come, the more this becomes like a general trade route. And you kind of see has already taken a little bit of shape, so very cool. Right, speeding this up again. They are coming in, and then they're gonna gather in our city center or village center, and then we can select them and ask them to join us, which is perfect time because our sawmill is basically ready to go. So I'm going to allow both of them in. Monthly report, construction costs 60. I guess that's how much money we spend. Now, they're in here, but they don't have any jobs yet, so they're a bit bored and just hang out in the city center. With the sawmill in, we're gonna assign 2 of them in there, and they immediately take on the jobs as carpenters. All right, here we go. So they're now starting to produce planks. And over here, we're just waiting for the planks to finish building the warehouse. But I think I've now played about half an hour, so I'm going to leave it at that. Look how beautiful this looks. Our village is coming together. I like the organic growth overall, so I'm very excited to keep playing this. And I hope you guys enjoy it too. with that, I'm gonna leave it at that. Leave a comment below if you like to see this, if you're having fun with that as well, if what you would want me to see, if you have any ideas of how to organize the city, and otherwise, if you haven't subscribed, so please consider doing so. And I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.